Hello and welcome back to another episode of the BGBI podcast. You are joined by Oscar White.
Yes, hello.
Me, Luke Bailey Grice. And just a little overview of the format of this podcast before we go into it. We'll start off with a bit of chinwag, as you do as mates. Everyone has a bit of a chinwag. Then we go into the dark side of the road. Lovely story we have tonight.
A couple of stories, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of stories, yeah. And later on, for the beer drinkers, for the beer enthusiasts, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but for us beer enthusiasts, we've got a beer review, and this one's a big one tonight.
This is a big one. This is possibly one of... We've had this before, we'll preface with that.
This is one that we have tried before.
Perhaps my favourite beer company of all time.
Oh, well, you'll have to stay tuned for that one. So, that's what we're going to do on this podcast, and it's all about cars and all about motoring and beer.
Exactly.
Which is always ideal. So,
well, Luke, first off, we start off with, as you know, the catch-up. What have you seen in the news this week? What's caught your eye?
What have I seen in the news? Well,
obviously, before we start this as well, this is going out at a later date, so this is topical for now, but
yeah.
When you come around, it might be like a week old.
This is probably old news. This is like everyone knows this stuff. Right?
Well, they might not. They might not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, starting off with a theory more than anything. Diesel prices could come significantly down.
That'd make a difference, wouldn't it? A significant difference.
Yeah. This is all to do with the Strait of Hormuz, if you say it like that. Hormuz.
I don't know. Something.
But we're looking towards that reopening. I mean, peace deals have been made. Peace deals have been made for a while, but these look like they're
cemented.
You're going to be cemented, and it looks like diesel barrels are going to come a lot cheaper than they were before. So hopefully
$80 and below.
Yes.
USD.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means us at the pump paying for, instead of paying £1.80 per litre, it's going to be hopefully back to normal, or whatever we consider normal, £1.40.
The lowest we got, I think, was £1.40.
£1.40, and that's probably about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was like post-COVID, it came back down, but yeah. So that's some good news for this episode.
Something that I wanted to bring in as well, and this obviously links, both of us are big enthusiasts with cars. Obviously, as we wouldn't have this podcast otherwise.
Cars are up there.
The government is set to actually weaken the mandates on EV production. There's a couple of reasons for this as well, but also it's quite interesting to see. They're actually reverse on this because we thought it was going to be all the rage. I personally, when I first heard about them bringing in the mandates of the EV, I thought that's just the death of the petrol engine.
Yeah,
but obviously not. Obviously, there's a lot more nuance in that. They've got so many more factors that contribute to it.
But it's like a step in that direction.
Yeah, exactly. But they're going to hold a consultation on this, I believe, and that will tell us whether they decide to weaken the EV mandates. And one of the biggest reasons for this was lobbying from the car manufacturers, or because they would reportedly lose a lot of profit if they were to just stick to the mandate set up by the government for manufacturing.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, that'll impact things quite a lot. I mean, you can see Jaguar and the kind of decisions they made to go into the EV market, and look at where that's left them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they did do a bold way of doing it and go completely crazy with it.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do all the things that they did.
Some people like going crazy with EV cars though.
Yeah.
So there are some companies out there that really I don't know, real miss. They missed the dartboard completely with that one. But yeah, no, I thought that was really interesting to bring up. And then once this consultation's done, we'll bring that news back as well in a future episode and see whether they actually follow through with it or they U-turn on this. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. And speaking about those loss of profits, going back to one of the other episodes we did, we talked about how the Ferrari Luce.
Yeah, well, however it's pronounced.
I still don't know. That was a bad decision by Ferrari, as it seems, because the market didn't like it. The price of Ferrari stock at the time went down 8% when that came out.
That's ridiculous.
So that's how it was received by everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was on the initial, when they first revealed it.
Yeah.
And it dropped
Yeah, I mean, investors were not happy about it.
That's ridiculous.
But it's not all bad, because another thing we talked about, Lewis Hamilton winning the GP, stock prices went back up again. So we're looking down 8%, but then back up around 14%.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, yeah, a very volatile market at the moment.
Oh my!
With all the stuff going on with Ferrari.
I didn't realise that a Ferrari win or a win in any kind of motorsport could affect a stock price that much. Obviously, that's like Elon Musk tweeting about Dogecoin. The price just skyrockets.
But you got to think the amount of people watching F1, the amount of money that's flowing around in F1.
I never realised until I got older how much money is flowing around there.
Oh yeah, normally you're just watching it on the TV and look at the cars going around.
Yeah, exactly.
Money in it.
Money in it, and you have to have money to even be a driver in the first place, don't you? Like, all of them are sons of millionaires, billionaires, daughters of millionaires, billionaires. So
exclusive club, can't get in.
Exclusive Bullingdon Boys Club. So today's episode,
right, yeah,
is an interesting one, and it's something I could say maybe most people watching this would have felt at some point in time or experienced or been on the receiving end of even. This is road rage, human impulse.
Road rage. Okay.
You know, getting out of control. Have you any experiences yourself, experiencing it, throwing it out there, or? I
mean, yeah, everyone's had those kind of like, they've driven to somewhere, and even something as small as a slow driver, a learner driver. That's the main one. I remember when I was learning, I was very much in the camp of let learner drivers do their thing. They're trying to learn, give them the time, and then the moment I started driving properly,
you're like,
what are the learner drivers doing?
Yeah. Why are you so bad at driving?
Going too slow, yeah. We got to learn how to drive, man. These learners.
Yeah. Where'd you learn to drive? Yeah, no, it is an interesting one. I find the psychology behind it quite interesting as well. We'll speak about it in a minute. But yeah, no, I've certainly been on the receiving end of one. I was going up to Loughborough to one of our good friends' kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Loaded kitchen. And while on my way up there, this is after work, this van, I merged into the centre lane from the outside lane, and this van almost merged into me without, he wasn't looking, he was on his phone.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Gesturing out the window. What are you doing? And he rolled down his window, started screaming at me, got behind me, like right up close, bumper to bumper. Like he must have been doing, you know, exactly the same speed as me, to the point where you're like going like that. And he was flashing me, and I switched lanes. He switched lanes behind me, kept coming up behind me, flashing me.
Now his route's changed.
Keep switching lanes. So I pulled into the slow lane, and I was like, right, I'll just sit here then. He just sped off in the fast lane. Classic white man van driver.
Rolling coal diesel cloud behind him as he went.
Exactly. Yeah, no, yeah. He was one of those white van. Man and white van.
White van man.
White van man. Yeah, that's the phrase I'm looking for. Disregard any phrase I said before that. Yeah, no. So today I've got 7 true stories for you.
All right, okay.
Some are lighthearted, some are very, very well known.
Are we going to descend into the
slowly
madness?
Descend into very, very serious topics? 3 of which, all of them, apart from the first one, have a court case around them or criminal charge.
Right. So these are like leading on to somewhere. This is stuff.
Seriously leading on somewhere. But first, as I do with every episode, I'll run you through the key people in the episode. I'll just give you a brief outline of who they are, the names, who they are, and then we'll get into the psychology of road rage. We'll just have a brief discussion amongst ourselves, and then we'll get on to the 7 stories.
Nice.
So, key people. First one, Ronnie Pickering.
Hey!
A grandfather from Hull who was 54 at the time of his famous...
I didn't wonder if it was going to come up.
It just has to come up. Do you know who I am? I'm Ronnie Pickering. Who? Yeah, no, really, really funny story. Next, Jake Fear, 20-year-old Somerset farmhand, who caused a 50-car tailback driving a tractor.
Ooh.
Paul Carpenter and Wayne Sebury, they're called the M4 racers, and they hit 101 miles an hour whilst road raging each other, and then also had a massive car accident, which the Mini flipped over and rolled down the motorway. Jeremy Vine, BBC presenter.
Jeremy Vine.
You familiar?
Yeah.
I've
listened to BBC Radio 2 in my time.
One of my notes on the actual Jeremy Vine story was ask Luke if he knows who Jeremy Vine is. So yeah, Jeremy Vine, BBC radio presenter, helmet cam cyclist. I've got it written down here as, and then Shanique Sarina Pearson, 22, and she was a driver convicted of the Vine confrontation. She was jailed for 9 months.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Stephen Cameron, a 20-year-old electrician, murdered in the M25 in 1996. Kenneth Noy, a career criminal, who's linked to the Stephen Cameron story. And then moving on to the kind of more those ones. That's when it started to get more serious with these like the murders. Danielle Cable, Cameron's fiance and key witness. Tracy Andrews, 27 at the time, murdered her fiance, invented a road rage killer. Lee Harvey, 25 at the time.
Oswald.
And Andrew's fiance, the real victim. Fred Turner Jr., 47, and Jerome Hayes, 48, in Florida. So we're venturing outside the UK for those ones.
International.
And it was a road rage and a mistaken identity shooting, which is,
very American.
Contrast. Okay. So let's dive into the psychology bit first. So I've got a few facts written down here for you.
Okay.
That I think you might find interesting. Road rage, we've experienced it. We've been on the receiving end of you and felt it bubble up ourselves sometime. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't speak.
I feel like everyone has.
Yeah, you get angry in the car. So road rage is actually a modern phrase.
Really?
It was coined and developed with headlines in the 1980s in the US news coverage of freeway shootings. So I find that really interesting that they, and like many things, it's all popularized by the media, isn't it? Media kind of coins these terms, or even
news headlines.
Yeah, exactly. The term that I really like recently is by one of OpenAI's, or previously OpenAI's, now works Anthropic, I believe. He coined the term vibe coding, which is where you just prompt an AI chatbot, AI LLM in plain English, and it'll pump out code based on your input in plain English. So vibe coding is my new term, just as road rage was back in the 1980s. So the psychology behind road raging is really quite interesting. First, you're anonymized, aren't you? You're in a metal box traveling at 70 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, anywhere between 0 and 70. If you're obeying the law, of course. So you never do it face to face, would you? You've got that anonymity, and you stick behind the wheel. You stick in your metal box. That's what you do. You're losing a lot of the social cues, right? So you can't see them face to face. So you're kind of saying, "Oh, that idiot in the metal box over there, or that idiot in that car." You don't know them. You can't see them. If you were in public, obviously you'd have that face to face. It would kind of be very different. But in this, you don't know them. It's just that idiot over there. You cut me off. Territory is another factor that comes into it, right? And this is quite interesting. I didn't know. Lane territory. Yeah, exactly. So it's he's hogging that lane, or he just cut me off in my lane, etc., etc., and that can cause you to feel that and bubble up, and all of them together create this road rage. But then there's also some numbers to back up some of the things that we say about road rage. Like, it's quite common. We expect a lot of people to listen to us experienced it, either been receiving end or dishing out. So this is some US statistics, because I find this quite interesting. There's a bigger population of people there,
right? Yeah,
more representative. Yeah, there's more going on. So it's quite interesting. They said, it's from the AAA Foundation, 80% of US drivers did something aggressive in the last 30 days, and 8 million admitted to the extreme end, ramming and getting out to confront the other person. So ram cars.
Wow, really extreme then.
Yeah, so I think that's split into two statistics. So ramming is like 3 million, and then getting out to confront is like 5 million together. Obviously, they're like 8 million. So that's what we factor as the extreme end. So that concludes the AAA Foundation statistic there. But this is where it gets interesting as well. Obviously, US have different laws around guns. It's not legal here in the UK to just open carry public firearm, buy it like they do. Every town / gun violence archive, the US road rage shooting deaths roughly doubled from 58 in 2018 to 118 in 2023. And someone was shot every 18 hours in 2023. That's due to road rage incidents as well. Obviously, that's just road rage. So way more shooting deaths over there.
it's not really a thing that you really think about. You think about road rage and you think about like shootings and stuff, like serious. You don't really think that there could be the same sort of that you don't really think that road rage is something that will be starting shooting and possibly murders.
Yeah, no, exactly, which is crazy, which we'll get into in the final story, but just that difference as well between US versus UK road rage, because in the US you've got that anonymity. And also, you're in a car, you go in at 70 miles an hour, you feel like, oh, no, pull out the gun, and they just shoot through the window.
Yeah. It's very much like an me versus them sort of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're no better, and most of the 6 of the stories here are from the UK. So obviously, we've got a large proportion, but we wanted to do it as people maybe the listeners know already, or they've heard the stories before. We expand on here. But yeah, no, you'll see in the US one, that's where it gets really interesting. So that brings us on to the first story 1. Ronnie Pickering.
The boy.
Do you know who I am?
Everyone knows who he is.
So just to set the scene a little bit for you here, right? 21st of September 2015. We would have been year 7 in...
Oh yeah, 2015.
Just started year 7 in high school. In Bransholme Hall, big Ronnie Pickering was driving a red Citroen, as we all know. Most of us seen the video, haven't we? Then a moped rider overtakes him. Ronnie is not too pleased about this, is he? He's not a happy bunny about getting overtaken by someone on a 50cc little hairdryer. So Ronnie pulls up beside the moped driver, rolls down his window. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Oh, yeah.
You soon will do. Right? The rider looked at him deadpan and said, Do I care? Who are you then? Ronnie Pickering. Obviously, we all know the story too well. Obviously, nobody knows who Ronnie Pickering was at the time. And that's why it's funny. But also, I didn't know this detail because I've only seen short bits of the clip. Is Ronnie Pickering actually challenged the moped rider to a bare knuckle fight
during the video?
Yeah,
you completely overlooked that because of the sort of things you were saying.
Yeah, this is all caught on his helmet cam. I just find that mental. It's just a bare knuckle fight, right? And so this goes absolutely viral. This goes massive, and there was a lot of celebrities adding their own opinion on this. So Duncan Bannatyne from Dragon's Den,
right, yeah,
weighed in on this. Just a quick one-line quip on Twitter at the time is, "Who is Ronnie Pickering?" Question. And then Jack Whitehall came in with an absolute corker. This is a good one. I didn't know that he tweeted this at the time either. So just as some context, there was a supermoon the night before. And Jack White tweeted, "Ronnie was so angry last night, he turned the moon red." I thought, oh, that's a pretty good one. Off the cuff, that's a pretty damn good one.
You got to think how viral this went. This is a beautiful opportunity for all comedians on Twitter.
This is the best of British comedic heritage right here. This is really good. So the repercussions for Big Ronnie, there weren't many. Just the police reviewed the tape and spoke to him about his driving. And just told him and reminded drivers to be courteous and considerate when they are driving about, which is, fair. I mean, they didn't cause anything. It may go viral, and I'm sure moped rider made some
slap on the wrist, if anything.
Yeah, I know, exactly, just a light slap on the wrist. And at the time, and even to this day, Ronnie Pickering's just been a real good sport about it all. He's been a good old chap. He's been a real good sport.
I wonder what he's doing nowadays.
I don't know.
Probably still driving that same Citroen Zara.
I don't know. Do Citroens last that long?
Yeah, true.
And at the time, he looks back on it and says, "At the time, I was just spouting a load of gobbledygook." And he didn't even know it was actually being filmed until a mate told him that he's gone viral. Yeah, which is mental. I didn't know that. And then this as well. So later on, a car actually ploughed into his pub table.
The same day?
Not the same day, no. Completely different day. So this is later on, like later down the years. And he shrugged it off. An old woman slipped on the pedals. And then in April 2026, this is quite recent. I think you might remember this as well. You would have seen it online. The family had to deny some fake death rumours.
Oh, right, yeah.
Do you remember? You might remember that very fleeting.
I remember there was there was almost like a phase that went viral where people would tell the news to their parents that some random person's died and see their reaction. And I think that was caught in that storm sort of thing, and people thought it was real or wasn't. So
yeah, so he's not dead as far as we know, as of what is it, 16th of June 2026. Yeah, still around, still a grandfather from Hawaii with him. Maybe has a red Citroen
still at that pub table.
He's still there. He's still waiting for some pedal slips. Okay, story number 2. Now, this one is the first one with an actual conviction at the end of it. So it's not like it's just a minor kind of monetary, take some money from this geese. But it's one I find quite interesting as well. And I'll get into my thoughts on it as well when I finish the story. But I do have some personal opinions about this story myself. So let's just bring in the background. Somerset, 20-year-old farmhand Jake Fear is driving a beet-laden tractor on the A39 near Glastonbury at 25 miles an hour.
Okay.
So we've all been stood behind a tractor before. Yeah. And my personal opinion, I don't get annoyed. They're feeding the country. They need to do what they got to do. I'll sit behind a tractor all day.
I mean, I was behind one on the way here. I mean, there's a lot of farms around here.
Yeah.
It's kind of commonplace.
It's kind of commonplace. You sit behind. They're feeding the country. Let them do their thing.
Stick some music on and let it go by.
Yeah, exactly. But this is where it gets interesting for old Jake Fear. So behind him, a queue of more than 50 cars, over half a mile long, is beginning to form, right? And then a traffic officer spots all this going on, and he pulls up to Jake Fear and says, like, you've got to pull over a second. I've got to have a word with you. So he does actually get a charge from this, right? Driving without reasonable consideration for other road users, and this is under Section 3 of the Road Traffic Act.
Right.
It's not something that I necessarily thought, be charged with on this as a farmhand driving a tractor with food on it. This is also the same law, and people get charged with this when they're middle lane hoggers or when they're splashing puddles at bus stops, etc.
Yeah. So it's not like reckless driving. It's just
no, it's just
not considerate of other people.
Just being inconsiderate.
Yeah,
it's a whole thing around it. And this is apparently also quite a rare case to use against a farmer and a tractor driver in general. So, the offence obviously wasn't his speed. 20 miles an hour. That's reasonable in a tractor. I don't think you're going to get very fast hauling a big trailer. But the reason the traffic officer was more annoyed than anything was him not pulling over and letting people filter and get passed by. Which a lot of tractors do, especially around here. They always pull over if they're stopped.
I mean, there's always places that you find them on the side, either with left indicator or hazards.
Yeah, exactly.
Letting people go by, and once everyone's by, they rejoin again.
Yeah, exactly. And they're usually quite smart. They cover the road if you're telling you not to overtake, and then they'll hook back in if you're allowed to overtake.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's different. Say if they were hauling a big trailer full of, I don't know, barley or something, whatever. Maybe they don't have the space to pull over, so they've got no other option really without kind of dangerously being on the side or on a verge or in a ditch.
Exactly. Well, most countryside lay-bys are kind of single car length, aren't they? They're not tractor length.
Width,
width and length as well. Like,
I see what you
pull
mean.
into a lay-by. They're really very short.
I thought you meant like the lane itself.
No,
longer than a car length.
Very. So the outcome of this, and I'm going to read this straight from the fact sheet because we'll get the figures right. We have to. He admitted his guilt to being inconsiderate. He also had a separate bold tyre offence. So I don't know what a bold tyre looks like on a tractor, but that's
that must have been bad.
Pretty smooth, right? Pretty smooth. He was fined £190 per offence plus £85 costs, and then a £20 victim surcharge and 3 penalty points.
Right.
That seems like quite a lot.
Yeah.
Jake Fear called it silly and unfair and said he was at the legal tractor speed and never saw the queue. And to be honest with you, I'm quite inclined to agree with him in some ways, on my own personal opinion, because these people are feeding our country. These people are hauling, working 12 hours a day. But then also on the flip side, how do you not see a 50-car queue that half a mile long?
He would have mirrors.
You would know. I think you would notice that.
Even if he did have a trailer where he can't see directly behind him, surely mirrors and going around bends you'll be able to see. But
yeah, because it wouldn't just be one straight road like a runway, would it? It'd just be a full. You got turns. So I've never been on the A39 near Glastonbury before. so I can't possibly comment. But that is, yeah, no, really, really interesting story.
Yeah,
But
it's a strange one, to be fair.
yeah, exactly. And it's quite funny. It's an inversion because usually police side with the victim of the angry road rage. This time, the police is on the side of people road raging at a slow moving tractor.
Yeah.
So you got 50 people all having road rage simultaneously, and eventually Jake Fear got fined, charged with that. But yeah, no, it's kind of, I don't know, really interested to see people.
Quite a big penalty though for what it was.
I know, yeah. You think it would be
for
like
wasting time, really, more than, well, not even wasting time.
I think a fine, yeah. It is what it is at the end of the day. You can't change that now. I wonder what his lawyer was arguing in court, if he had one or whatever. But let's move on to the next story, story number 3. Now, I've seen the video for this story.
Right.
And the video is really quite distressing because of the way this car crashes. It just flips, skips, lands, skids on its roof across 3 lanes.
Also, this is the mini story.
This is the mini story. So, story 3, the mini that flipped at 101 miles an hour.
Right.
I don't know if it actually flipped at 101 miles an hour, but it was reported at the time that 2 cars reached speeds of up to 101 miles an hour whilst chasing each other down. Okay, so the M4 eastbound near Port Talbot in South Wales. Very familiar with that road. I've no clue where it is. There were 2 drivers, Paul Carpenter, 44 at the time, from Surrey, and Wayne Sebury, 59, from Pontypridd. They get into a row. Someone cut someone up, and, you know, with these kind of cases, there's always a bit of pride involved, isn't there? You know, he cut me up. No, he didn't. I didn't cut you up. I was just changing lanes. And yeah, that's kind of similar to my story when that van driver was getting really angry, even though he almost crashed into me. But this turns into a race. You know, they get really angry at each other. They're undertaking, tailgating, flashing lights up to 101 miles an hour at some points. So they're really
touched a nerve.
They're pushing the limits on this, aren't they? So they're something's going on, man. They're really not happy with each other. And this is a key point as well. This is all recorded on dash cam as well.
Right.
On one of their cars, the dash cam's monitoring the whole chain of events that leads to this.
They didn't even want to grab it last minute.
Yeah, and change it and plug it and move it out. Yeah, exactly. But this ends with, like I said, one of the most harrowing motorway videos that I've seen that didn't end in a death.
Right.
And it's this mini just flipping over 3 lanes and coming to a skidding stop on its roof. And you can see all of the stuff flying out of the car. So his car's like packed up with stuff, and it's just all coming out the window.
Right, yeah.
If we find a video of it, if people aren't squeamish, we'll put a viewer advisor now. We'll put it in the video because it's like literally only 5 seconds long. But yeah, no, that was really, really stupid on their behalf. Reckless driving. But they both admitted dangerous driving at Cardiff Crown Court. Carpenter, he had 6-month prison suspended, 24 months, 18-month ban, and a 200 hours unpaid work plus £125 victim surcharge. And then Sebury got an 18-month community order, a 12-month driving ban, and 150 hours unpaid work with an £85 victim surcharge.
Right.
So it seems that, yeah, obviously you can't argue with the court's decision there. You know, the reckless driving, that is, they could have hurt anybody else on the road. And this leads us on to what the police said about the incident as well. They said that it was sheer luck that nobody was killed or seriously injured at the time.
Yeah. Do you think if they've collided or they came to the rolling stop and the skidding stop, if someone was to be in that trajectory, that's them wiped out.
Yeah.
And so there's either someone without a seatbelt on or a baby in there, or who knows.
It could be any number of people, couldn't it?
It could be a lot worse for them than it was the actual boy racer that did it in the first place. So there's always luck involved, isn't there, with these things? And luckily, that was on the good side.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with that. I mean, it is a miracle that nobody was seriously injured, because I'll show you the video after the episode as well. You'll see it's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Moving on to story 4. Now, this one is really famous. I think this has been viewed millions and millions of times on Twitter, etc. So there's been a lot of coverage on this story, and it was goes quite a while back. Again, we were probably about, I think we were in like year 8 at the time.
All right, okay.
So we were fairly
another
young.
semi-recent. Well, not
fairly
semi-recent, but
fairly recent in the grand scheme of the universe.
80s and 90s.
But this one was a famous one. So, this famous broadcaster, Jeremy Vine, and dubbed the story "The Cyclist and the Gun Sign."
Right.
So the background for this: 26th of August, 2016, Horton Street in Kensington, West London. Beautiful place, really nice place. Jeremy Vine, 51 at the time, cycling to work. As you do, some people take the cycling route. Me and you have been known to dabble in some cycling, even though we're not the full lycra gear wearing cycles.
Yeah, not quite the London commuter kind of cycling.
Yeah, not on the bike with the tiny wheels and that folds into itself. So cycling to work, and he has to move to the centre of the road. So watching this video as well, and I've seen this video. He's moving to the centre of the road because there's cars on either side, so you can't really. There's no point someone coming up and tailgating you in that area. It's just avoiding all these parked cars. You don't want to crash into them on a cycle because you would get seriously hurt going into a brick wall at that speed. But there's this Vauxhall Corsa behind him. She's not a happy bunny.
Right. She's
very angry. They're kind of clashing as they go through this really tight spaces between the cars. And they're just kind of hand gesturing through the windows, etc. They stop for a second and they eventually arrive at a junction again. And she's in front of him this time and he's behind her. So the feud reignites at the junction. And then Jeremy Vine says that Pearson made a gun gesture and cocked it at him over just a short incident of road rage, which is really interesting. And he caught all of this on his helmet cam.
Right.
So there's the videos out there, and like I said, I've seen them, and they're quite interesting.
So this was caught from Jeremy's perspective.
Yeah, from cyclist perspective.
Right.
Yeah. He posted this on Twitter himself, so he's got obviously a massive following already. And this story was viewed millions and millions of times. The GoPro footage was viewed millions and millions of times. So the charges, where does this leave us? How does it come to a round conclusion? Okay. So she was charged with threatening, abusive, insulting words or behaviour, driving without reasonable consideration, and then she admitted to driving an unlicensed vehicle.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So on February 2017, she was convicted. She was already on a suspended sentence. Prior convictions including robbery, theft, and assault.
Okay.
So went to the Crown Court. She appealed, lost, and jailed for 9 months at Isleworth Crown Court in April 2017. So that was quite a quick turnaround for that court case, but it seems that her history came into play and obviously had something to do with this as well. Also to note as well, so her lawyer during this trial argued Vine racially stereotyped her as a black person with a gun, but the judge dismissed this and said not a shred of evidence.
A gesture's a gesture.
A gesture's a gesture, and in the heat of the road rage, when you've got the anonymity and you've got all those psychological factors coming into play, maybe you do it and it just comes about because you're so angry.
Yeah.
Because of the cyclist. And we've all been there with a cyclist, even though we cycle ourselves, we still get annoyed at someone going 5 miles an hour up a hill.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you do it from the passenger seat. I mean, it gets to you that much.
Yeah, exactly. No,
you don't even need to be a driver.
Yeah, exactly. But no, this is really, I don't know, it's scary as a cyclist. I wouldn't want to be in this situation. I would, because they've got a car. They've got so much more power over you on the road.
If things were to get serious,
they would just ram you and you could be seriously injured.
Yeah, they've got more armour than you have.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what was important to note, and probably why it got the attention it did, as well as Jeremy Vine obviously being a renowned, was he radiocaster, etc.
Presenter of sorts.
So we're going to move into a bit more sensitive stories now, something that actually involves real deaths.
Right, okay.
The story number 5 is something, when I was researching, I hadn't heard of, but apparently it was quite popular at the time.
Okay.
So this is called the M25 murderer, or the murder, and it was involving the Kenneth Noy and Stephen Cameron that we spoke about, key characters of the episode. So this is going back a while. 19th of May 1996, a slip road at the Swanley interchange of the M25 in Kent. Again, not very familiar with those, but we all know how a slipway onto a motorway looks
probably
like.
been on that a time or two, not on the slipway, but that part of the M25.
That part of the M25 around.
Not in the 90s though.
No,
I don't remember the 90s.
Completely different time. Yeah, no, you're just a twinkle in your dad's eye, as they say. So Stephen Cameron, a 21-year-old electrician, is in a car with his fiancée Danielle Cable on the slip road.
An electrician, and her last name's Cable.
Yeah, I know, that is crazy. A minor collision, bump, if you will, with another vehicle, which is Kenneth Noy's vehicle. This has just been, as what I don't know if you've ever been in an accident, but it's just you're swapping details, aren't you? You want to get to the bottom of it as quickly as possible.
Pretty standard procedure, yeah.
And I know when I was in an accident myself, it was swapping the details.
Yeah.
Just the first thing we did. Everyone okay? Yeah, cool. Yeah. Now let's swap details, get everything sorted.
And I find, because I was in a small bump, I mean, no one was hurt, but it's kind of, for me, you switch off that aggression of whose fault is it, whose fault it isn't. I mean, some people still get aggressive and kind of go, what are you doing, you idiot? But I find you kind of switch off that whose fault is it, what happened, just is everyone okay, details, insurance, and then you start to go, you're a bit of a fool.
Fool.
But until you've got to that point, you don't bring emotions into it. That's how I see it.
Exactly. No, I couldn't agree more. But this is where it takes a turn for the worse. So Kenneth Noy was already notorious for the 1983 Brinksmack gold robbery. He gets out and stabs Cameron to death in broad daylight.
Wow.
Over this minor bump. And this is all going on in front of Stephen Cameron's girlfriend as well, who is key witness to the crime. So, where does this lead us to? Noy flees the country, goes on the run, and was tracked to Spain. And he used a false identity to get there in the first place. And online, you can actually find a picture of the passport he used to go abroad as well. So that was quite unique. I don't know, do people do that anymore? Do criminals still do that, or do they just hide in the UK?
I feel like the system's a little bit more in depth now.
It's robust, yeah. Because this is pre-9/11 as well, so the inspections of the plane aren't as harsh.
It's difficult to get through airports with a valid passport. Then
yeah, no, exactly. So he fled the country, he went to Spain, and he was extradited to the UK in 1998. In the trial, and this is interesting to note, right? Noy claimed self-defense, but Danielle Cable, who was a key witness in identifying him, obviously provides her statement of the story and what was going on at the time. And obviously with Noy's previous convictions, notoriously known, allegedly a career criminal.
Right, yeah.
It really tarnishes his reputation going into it. So, the conviction. This is where we get to. This is the reprimand, the justice, as far as you can call it justice. He's convicted of murder and sentenced to life in 2000 with a minimum term of 16 years.
Right.
So after multiple parole hearings and high court challenged, he was moved to open conditions, and in 2019 he was released on license.
Okay, so he's done time for murder.
Yeah.
But at this point, as a career criminal, as we like to call him, he's back out.
Exactly, he's back out. But this story really also brought in the term and coined the phrase road rage and made it big in the UK, I think. And it is, a very sensitive story, and you can't ever, as we said on previous episodes, you can't ever make up for the losses of a loved one. But it's one of those stories that's quite moving in a way. I feel like it's quite sad to know that something as minor as a small bump on a motorway, slip road, can change in a flip of an eye like that. But it also links us to story number 6. So road rage now here being a phrase and a kind of a fear-mongering asset that obviously a lot of newspapers, fear-mongering gets people to buy newspapers, and that's what they do. They sell a lot of newspapers.
But I guess it also brings awareness to the fact that it can start so small, but this kind of special type of rage, psychologically, sticks with people and escalates things, and for that story in particular, leads to murder.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, so.
And this is where we get to another sensitive story. So this is story number 6. Tracy Andrews and This is the killer who invented a killer.
Right.
This is quite unique. So, 1st of December 1996, a country lane at Coopers Hill Alve Church, Worcestershire. This is just months after the Noy incident, and the country is already primed to fear road rage, as I said about the tabloids,
Right, yeah.
Coining the term, and people are kind of being fearmongered into the road rage. Lee Harvey, her was it husband or fiance? No, Tracy Andrews' partner at the time, 25 at the time as well, was found stabbed to death on the side of the road. His fiance, there you go. Tracy Andrews, 27 at the time, was standing over him, bloodied and bruised. Right. And what she claimed, and this is where it gets dark, a dark Ford Sierra followed them. And this is a country road, bear in mind. So if we have an image, we'll put it in now. And it's just this road, really short, single lane country road. She claimed that a dark Ford Sierra followed them, and she described the person as a fat man with staring eyes got out and stabbed Lee in a road rage attack. There was a press conference on the 3rd of December 1996, so televised. Lee's mother and sister, on there appealing for the killer to come forward and sort of, let's get to the bottom of this nationwide manhunt for this alleged killer.
Isn't it?
It's a mystery, and they didn't solve it at the time. But here's what actually happened, okay? There was no Ford Sierra, no attacker, apart from Tracy Andrews herself.
Just the story that was made up.
Yeah. Stabbed Harvey more than 40 times with a penknife after an argument. So the evidence. How did they know there was no Sierra? How did they know there was no fat man with staring eyes? There were no tyre marks for a second car. The witnesses saw Harvey's car that night with nothing following it. But also, interestingly to note, in Harvey's hand, there were 80 plus strands of Tracy Andrews' hair from a struggle, which at the time obviously was grappling with her. And where does this bring us? Where does justice get served? Where's the conviction? She was charged with murder after a trial at Birmingham Crown Court.
Which I can only assume that she denied until the truth came out.
Yeah, I think she went forward. She admitted she killed him in 1995. In 1999, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So she was found guilty on 29th July 1997, sentenced to life with a minimum 14 years. So interesting to note, it was less time for the minimum than the Noy case. She appealed in 1998, but that was rejected. It seems to be the case, obviously, with some of these murder cases. But just going back to the point we said there, did she admit it? Yeah, she admitted it. In 1999, she admitted she killed him and made the story up. And then, interestingly to note, she claimed self-defense.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting as well. I also read some other articles online as well that said they interviewed some of the surrounding people and they could hear the couple arguing, and there was a small child that said he could hear like loud shouting coming from the direction when the whole event was going on.
Even on a quiet country lane as it was?
On a quiet country lane, there was a house 400 yards away, I believe.
Okay, right.
It's roughly that sort of distance. And the residents said they could hear shouting and a couple arguing. So it's interesting to note as well. And obviously there would be, as the police found, there was no other tracks on another car. But what makes this interesting as well is kind of the cunning behind her whole, like the whole motivation behind her weaponizing the fear of road rage in the media and using it to her advantage to mask her own murder.
Oh, right, I see, yeah.
So she's playing on the fear of everybody. Everyone's like, oh my God, road rage, this is scary because people do get killed and stabbed. It is, just really cunning. How do you come up with that? How do you murder the one in the first place? You've got to be...
You've got to have your mind set in that kind of way to come up with those stories and do the act in the first place, really.
I know, exactly.
Try and cover it up.
And I think some of the tabloids as well, the picture of her on the front page, like all bruised, like black eye.
Quite striking.
It's quite a striking image. But no, that was story number 6.
Right, yeah.
Which is spooky.
Yeah.
Scary. Now, the final one. This is where we take a turn from the UK and we take a dip across the pond into the United States of America.
God's America.
Story number 7. Fred Turner Jr. and Jerome Hayes. Okay, so these are the two main people in the story. So to set the scene, to bring in a bit of background to the whole of this, it was late June 2013 on Interstate 4, so this is what the Americans call I-4,
Right.
near Tampa, Florida. Fred Turner Jr., 47 at the time, Orlando born, from Orlando, driving home. Another driver, Jerome Hayes, 48 at the time, started following him. This was reported at first as road rage, but it was actually a case of mistaken identity. And Hayes thought Turner was a different man.
Okay, so something that he knew.
He thought it was someone that he knew, but this is just a completely different person with nothing to do with a stranger who was just driving home. So the story goes for this one is Jerome Hayes was at a strip club / bar previously.
Okay.
And him and a friend got into an altercation with someone outside of the strip club. Then they go their separate ways, and then they come into the main story here, which is where they meet, allegedly, this person they were in an altercation with on Interstate 4. But it wasn't the person they were in an altercation with. And this man was Fred Turner Jr., who was nothing to do with anything they had done previously. So Fred Turner Jr. called 911 to say he was being followed by a man with a gun. But what followed is where it gets, ridiculous.
Right.
He shot him 3 times, and he was found dead at the scene. Fred Turner Jr. found dead, shot by Jerome Hayes. Jerome Hayes was charged with first-degree murder with a firearm. But what's also interesting to say is officials stated this, right? He was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
Is that enough justification for... Obviously, you can't expect the police to fully, go around and say everything and whatever, because there's loads of deaths every day. They do the best that they possibly can do at the time. Yeah. But obviously, the wrong place at the wrong time, is that enough?
The best what they've come up with is it happened. It'll happen again, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's how quickly you can be mistakenly identified in a car, because it's road rage. Again, back to psychology. It's anonymity. You don't know the other person in the car. You might not even be able to see their face, and yet you're able to pull out a gun and shoot them to death. Which is what happened in this case.
It's the quick assumptions to the I don't like this person because... Yeah,
exactly. But so Hayes was charged with not convicted, charged with the first-degree murder with the firearm. But I just found it, quite a differentiation. Obviously, with the UK, you had the stabbings in 1996. But here, it's 2013, people going out with a gun and shooting someone that they mistakenly identified as someone else, or they thought someone else, in a road rage incident.
Yeah, again, going from very small to making assumptions, and those things going bigger and bigger and bigger, and pew.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, it is quite a sad story.
I guess there's also the article of the weapons used, I guess, in America. It's a lot easier to dislike someone and do something about it than in the UK. You've got to carry a knife, which, I mean, people do carry knives in the UK. Let's pretend like they don't. But most people don't, out of London. And when you haven't got a weapon on you, things can't escalate to that level. You can probably, like Ronnie Pickering was on about, ask them out to a bare knuckle fist fight. But that might be as far as it goes.
Yeah, no, it's true. But it's also important to note that people shooting with a gun, the gun kind of takes the guilt away. If you've got to stab someone, you've got to physically get up straight to them and get in and do whatever you do. Obviously, with the struggle shown in the previous story by grabbing the hairs, there was obviously a struggle and they've got to get up close. But this, it's almost as if the gun takes away the guilt. It's like the gun's doing the killing. But no, that was quite a poignant story to add to the end, I think.
Because I guess that is the severity of it, isn't it? The fact that it's just how quick things can escalate. Yeah,
they just turn in literally blink of an eye, and there's someone's dead. But that, Luke, finishes up my stories for this week. 7 stories, 7 road rage. I suppose the Tracy Andrews story wasn't road rage as such, but it kind of fits into there as well because it was kind of road rage.
Because things start off that way, doesn't it?
Yes, it's anger.
It's part of the you're in a box, they're in a box, I'm in my box, and they're different in their box.
Yeah,
it's a lot of and I like to bring in the dog that's got another dog on the other side of the fence yapping away. I don't like this dog. I don't like this dog on the other side of the fence. You get rid of it, or you open the gate, or get rid of the fence.
They're like, oh,
yeah,
and they just turn around and walk away.
They're just all scared and run away.
No, exactly. But as always, I just want to get your first initial reflections on the stories that we've spoken about today. Where does it stand you? Where does it sit you? What are your opinions on them and your overall changes on how you see road rage?
Well, I mean, most of all, it kind of shows you how common it is. With some of the stats of how many, it was an American stat,
80% experienced road rage in the past 30 days.
Right,
US stat,
but then the amount of shootings that happen because of road rage and people that admit to severe road rage and stuff like that. I mean, it's quite common that you'd be talking to someone in normal conversation about any kind of topic, and they say, "Oh yeah, well you don't want to see me behind the wheel. I get really aggressive," and that's just normal.
Yeah,
that is just normal. People do, and yeah, I find the psychological side of things quite interesting because it's common. Everyone goes through it, but it's kind of out of character for everyone. Like a lot of people that I know are non-malicious in everything they ever do, but get them behind the wheel and
they're a different breed. They're an animal.
different breed of other people. So yeah, it's fascinating stories about these kind of things
and how it just flips in an instant. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. That's a good take. I enjoy it.
I love starting off with a Ronnie Pickering one. That's a great one to start.
It's such a significant piece of UK internet history culture.
Yeah,
it's
but I guess
massive.
That shows you how wide of a variety it is as well, because you go from, we ended up with going to murders and shootings and that kind of aggression, but starting off at the lower end, it's just turns people crazy.
It can just be banter. It can be someone who is taken out of context, chucked online, or anything like that. But yeah, then escalates significantly to ridiculously harsh murders and I couldn't. So I literally left speechless about the disparity between
There's a bit of everything, and it shows that.
So bringing us on to the topic we always like to do at the end is debate points, don't we? We always like to a little bit of discussion on the stories. So the first one I want to bring in relates directly to the Jeremy Vine incident. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So dash cams and helmet cams, are they making us safer and providing evidence, or are they turning every bad day into public content?
I think the level that it's at, it's a good thing to have, especially dash cams in cars, because you get into a collision and say you collide with someone that's just, they want your money. They want the best for themselves, sort of thing. They're kind of selfish. You've at least got that evidence to back yourself up and say, look, this is what really happened. And not be like, I'm righteous. Just be like, here's what happened through this camera. It will tell you the whole truth.
Exactly. I was just listening to an audiobook the other day, interestingly enough, and it said in the book, and I believe, don't quote me on these stats officially, but there was like a rise in car accidents and more people were falsely claiming whiplash and neck injuries, and it actually increased the average claim price by £100.
Is this after using dash cams?
It would have been when dash cams started becoming really popular. That sort of era, 2010s-ish and above. So, but yeah, no, I thought that might link in nicely as well. But I agree with you there. I mean, I couldn't dispute that. I think.
Yeah. I mean, safer. There would be a point to to like add in where, like you say, if everyone has these, or like, you know, the Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
Yeah.
People that have those, people cotton on to those being a thing, and then they know they're being filmed, and they'll act differently because of that. So that might actually make people more aggressive, the fact that they don't want to be filmed. Yeah,
it could, definitely. I mean, especially if they know they're in the wrong and they committed some kind of driving offence while doing it and they were caught. It's like, whoa, this guy's acting way out of character because he's on film.
Yeah.
Second debate point is, you know, why does a car do this to us? Like, we've got the psychology behind it as well, but
why a car specifically?
Yeah, why a car? Why don't you see a lot of people raging on motorcycles? I suppose you do, but not in the same effect. Or people on bicycles.
I think it all goes back to, like we said, about the fact that you're in a metal box. You're almost safe in your metal box. I think definitely a modern thing, but that what the market's been like for a while is people like big SUVs, Land Rovers. If everyone had the same amount of money, if we was a communist country and we all got to pick what car we have, we're all in Range Rovers, because that is just what every mother wants, taking their kids to school. It's what everyone wants, to feel safe, to feel like they're better than everyone else because they're higher up on the road, that kind of thing. And I feel like that's part of it. You feel like you're in your safe box and they're in their safe box, and you just want to, you're like, they're wrong.
Yeah,
and I want to show them.
I'm in my big shiny metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then last debate point, and this is one that I was thinking about myself actually just before we started recording. Has this episode changed how either of us will drive this week? For me, I think making and watching all of the clips around this and the research, I think I will drive a little bit. I don't want to annoy the wrong person on the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it has changed how I'm going to drive this week. I don't know about you personally. How's it?
Yeah. I mean, in the past, I have seen some kind of things and those kind of videos where people do get angry on the road and how it escalates. But ultimately, it's kind of like a thought process that I had before about how much quicker will you get to the destination if you do drive quickly, or if you get stuck behind a tractor or a cyclist. You're only going to get home quicker, say, of best of times, 5-10 minutes. 10 minutes if you're going long distance and you're being caught up the whole time, sort of thing. Because you're not delayed that much. And if you get home from work, say, a little bit later, what are you going to do in the first 5 minutes of you going home? You go home, you put your bags down, you maybe get changed out your work clothes, and you scroll on your phone.
Yeah.
So it's like,
is it wasted time anyway, or is it? I suppose sometimes it can be nice to be in the car though. You got your music on. Sometimes just you alone with your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a time to go slow and enjoy. Well, not go slow. Don't go 25 in a tractor.
Yeah.
Let's put that.
Hauling the beats.
But it's more so like, use the time to be on your own, in your own thoughts, listen to your music or your podcasts. This podcast, specifically.
This exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, just chill out, and it doesn't need to be quick. You don't really need to, but people still do. So I think, me personally, I think after this, it's going to be, I'm going to take a long, slow drive home. I'm going to go the long way. Yeah,
take the long way. Down the M1.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Yeah, as I said when I answered, it will definitely. I think I'm going to be more mellow as a driver. Not that I was a very angry driver anyway, but I'll be more chilled out. Definitely don't want to pick like a fight with the wrong people if I accidentally move an inch to the left too slow or too quickly.
Especially when you're driving in America.
No, that's very true.
Statistically.
Yeah, you don't want to be another statistic. But that brings a close to it.
Yeah.
7 stories. We've had our debate.
Yeah.
A close to the stories.
Very nice. I mean, yeah, I like that one. It brings awareness to things that are quite common.
Yeah.
So,
short, snappy stories kind of gets you in and out, and it raises the awareness.
Yeah.
You got to be careful on the roads because you are driving a metal box at the end of the day, and it's not guaranteed to save you, even if it's a Volvo with unlimited safety features.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Ford Pinto and the
fuel tank just ruptures. Yeah, exactly.
Cool back.
Yeah, go and watch episode 1. Right.
Yes.
After this one's finished.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Speaking about finishing this episode, but if you like this episode, then feel free to give us a like. Check out all of our other bits and bobs, our other YouTube channel, and the other bits we're doing. Check out all the other episodes, like we said. There's lots of things going on at the moment, and lots of things to go on in the future, I think. So.
Yeah, we're releasing so 3 episodes will be out by the time you're watching this one.
Yes.
This is episode 4, so yeah, no, go and enjoy them if you haven't watched them already. This is, we're really loving making this. I think this is fantastic, and I really enjoy the whole storytelling element as well.
So even if there's one or two of you watching, this will still probably go to episode 50, 100, 150, who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
Unlimited episodes of BGBI podcast.
Indeed.
That's what we like to see.
So,
yeah.
If you would like to introduce the next section.
We now welcome on to possibly our favourite section.
Oh, yeah.
Second favourite after Dark Side of the Road. Is the beer section. If you're not a fan of beer, you don't drink, personal, religious, physical, health reasons, feel free to skip to the next episode now. You're not going to miss anything if you don't enjoy a beer. But we'll move on to this now. For those that do enjoy beer, crack a can open, stick your armchair up, grab your cigar. All responsibly, of course, as we like to say. We mentioned it.
We don't want to be causing any road rage on the way home from wherever you're listening to this.
Yeah, no, exactly. Or like going into the previous episodes, you don't want any kids in fridges like they would have had. But yeah, go and watch that now and you'll understand the reference. Again, thank you very much for listening, guys, and we'll see you in the beer section.
See you over there.
You join us for the beer review. Now today's one, Luke, it's a big hitter.
It's a big one.
It's a big swinger indeed, and this is my favourite beer brand ever. I don't know about you, Luke. Are you in the same sort of boat?
Same exact boat.
Favourite beer brand?
Best brand of beer I've come across.
Yeah.
Quite a poignant beer in our friend group, actually. I mean, going back quite a bit of time. Going to festivals, and one particular festival we went to, they had a, as you quite remember, Jubel beer van, I think it was.
They had a van with DJ decks on the top, didn't they? So,
yeah. And that was when it first emerged to us, and we enjoyed it all weekend.
That was 2022.
Yeah.
By the way, 2022, so that was ages ago.
Yeah. That was back when they had 3 flavours. They had the good old peach, the elderflower, and the grapefruit.
Yeah.
They've since come up with more, and now they're in supermarkets like Tesco, Sainsbury's, etc.
And if you ever want to collab,
yes,
please do.
Yes.
Because this is the best.
Yeah. But here we are today with one of their semi-newer ones. I mean, actually no, because they brought out quite a few ones after this. But
I think this one, I can't remember off memory, but I feel like this is fairly recent, but not like
in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have tasted it, but I don't think I ever actually had a proper sip and think about a blood orange Jubel.
Yeah, but that's always right. Having a sip, a think, and a chat is a lot different to. I've just bought a crate of beers, boys.
Yeah, let's hammer them down one by one. Yeah. Do you want the honours, Luke?
I can. Yes, of course. We've got to degas it first. Everyone knows this trick. Come on now. And then for the crack.
Whoa!
Explosive.
Had a bit of squirtage, just went over the floor here.
A bit of foamage on it.
You want it foamy?
I've got no choice.
Is that how you pour? Well, any Jubel aficionados? Is that legal?
Not my finest work. That can be yours.
No. Why, thank you, kind sir. I will take the one with all the foam, please, and a flake. No, that will settle by the time we finish chin wagging, I'm sure.
There we go. Mine's a bit better.
I think obviously it kind of makes it look funny. We've got such big pint glasses.
Yeah, little tasters. We need to get like tiny specialty ones.
We do. Maybe BGBI branded.
That'd be
beer review glasses.
That'd be ideal.
Maybe we do that. Maybe that comes this week. For episode 5.
Couple of props for this. That'll be brilliant.
And then we've always got them on deck, haven't we?
Yeah.
No, that is a proper beer. The beer in last episode, though, well, that was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Modelo.
Good old Modelo. I mean, as colours go, quite similar to the rest of them. This is quite light.
It's got a nice smell.
And I think, we skipped straight to the beer. We haven't even read the. This is Jubel Blood Orange, and this is a session lager. So session lagers are like lighter. You're able to session on them a bit easier.
Get on the sesh.
There you go. Even though it's quite backwards, because getting on the session, you're just trying to hammer drinks down. But session lagers are lighter in the
Drink
fact
them all
that-
night.
True. I mean, it's probably that. So they're not as heavy on you, more summery. But arguably, again, they're Jubel's quite like a big skiing, après ski kind of beer
vibe. Yeah.
So Jubel actually means cheers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you know? No.
Yeah. In what language? So you knew straight away.
No. See, I remember reading it quite a while ago. But Jubel means cheers in some kind of language.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was introduced as kind of like a après skiing vibe mixed with summer beer garden kind of things the things that are good areas to drink at, sort of thing. So, and this is the blood orange one. This came a few after. This is when they started coming up with more venturing out into more different flavors. Since then they've done quite a few others, more citrusy ones. I mean, we'll get to them in due time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I think, if we think about all the other flavors, this one's up there, I think.
This one, as I said, I've only taken like a sip of it at one of our drinking events or whatever we do. So I can't really comment on the taste. I'm excited to try it. Like, having never probably sat and thought about the flavor profile of a Jubel Blood Orange before. I'm excited, but
let's go for it.
Should we get straight into it and dig in?
Cheers again.
Cheers, our boy.
Eager beaver, you're going straight forward.
That's what the Jubel does to me. I just want to drink it.
Right, let's go.
That is good.
Oh, it's just so much lighter.
It is extremely light.
I think with that, there's a bit less flavour. But
I don't know. I thought the flavour's quite strong, actually.
But it's quite strong in the way that it's fruit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the lager taste is out, but brought in is that bit of citrusy, bit of fruit.
So there's some interesting history behind Jubel as well, and how they actually came to be. So the person who founded Jubel, I think he's Jesse. Shout out Jesse. He wanted to develop a lager that everyone could like session on, right? And he went to like après skiing, etc. And they found that in Europe, a lot of people, men and women, would drink like a fruit flavored lager, like peachy lager.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where he got the initial idea to actually bring Jubel into the mainstream, bring it into the UK, because it wasn't very popular. But now, everyone that I know that's around about our age knows what Jubel is and also drinks it as well. And it's the only, and I know this from some of like our female acquaintances, it's the only kind of lager they'll drink. They'll only drink a Jubel.
Yeah. Well, because again, I feel like it's that lighter profile, it's the fruitiness added to it. And I mean, there are other brands that do it. I mean, a lot recently. It's similar to like the flavoured gins and flavoured vodkas. That kind of is a recent thing because people enjoy the lighter, more flavourful options. But I feel like Jubel are almost like the pioneers. Well, I wouldn't say pioneers because there have been,
but in the UK market,
in the UK market, the recent times, because since the influx of Jubels on shelves, there's been, because I don't know if you've seen them, but saying like Tesco, they've got fruit lager sections now.
Yes, I have seen those. Yeah.
And they've got Jubel, Schaffenhofer, which do the pineapple lager.
Are they any good?
I'm yet to try them, to be fair. Maybe
bring them on.
Maybe a future episode.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I've seen them on shelves. There's a pineapple one. I think there's a peach one.
Okay.
And there's other brands that do that kind of thing. I mean, Audi have their own Jubel.
Oh, of course they do.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that.
I forget what it's called, but it's dangerously similar to Jubel, as
they
Audi do.
They like to toe the line a little bit. Old Audi.
Yeah, but yeah, it's nice to see what they're doing and the kind of stuff they're pumping out, because it's good stuff.
We've been following their growth as a company for literal years. They must have been very like small when we first found them.
Yeah,
because I don't remember anyone.
That was 2023, I think.
22, because it was the year before all of us went to university.
Right.
It was the first year of festivals. That was the first festival we went to.
Yeah, it was the first one. Yeah.
And that would have been June. When's Truck Festival? July normally?
Yeah, July.
July
Yeah.
2022 would have been when we found Jubel first.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was founded though. I think it was founded definitely in the last 10 years.
Yeah, because they had a bottled beer before they brought out the big three.
Really?
Yeah.
What I would
do to get my hands on one of those bottles.
I suppose Jubel now, having it as a can, it really fits that vibe. You pick a can out of the fridge, cold, crack it, you can drink it really easy. It's only 330ml.
Yeah.
Certified B Corp as well, which is really good. That's environmental factor, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
So I just don't think, I think you're very hard pressed to find a lager company that's better than this. But it does lead us on to, just one more interesting fact. It's brewed using wild farmed regenerative malted barley.
Oh wow, so it's not like not ultra processed, but
like
mass produced,
terrible farming standards that are bad for the ground.
Giga farms, yeah.
That just pump out noise.
I'm sorry, this is the first time. Are we going for more? Are we clearing the can?
Did we clear the Modelo? I think we cleared the Modelo though.
The Modelo was a big glass.
Yeah, we cleared that though.
I don't think we cleared it by the end of the episode, though.
Not by the end of the episode. This was after the episode.
Yeah,
the viewers,
but still, this is mid-episode finish of can.
Yeah. Look at that, he sees it all off. I've got a little baby bear now. I think this leads nicely into sort of rating system.
Yes,
scoring.
Of course.
Do you want to go first?
Do I want to go first? Now this is tough because this is a big player, as we know. Personally, it's up there with their best, not the best, but I would give it a strong, because it's just got a flavour profile like no other. I give it a strong 9.25.
Wow, that's very high.
Not much room above it, but there's still that little bit.
I was going to go very different to you.
Really?
You know I'm a massive fan of Jubel.
Yeah.
We were on it since the start, but blood orange just isn't my favourite flavour.
Really?
We know they've got a lot of different flavours. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's definitely good. But I was thinking going more of 7.75.
7.75?
If I'm being...
That's a whole point and a half difference there.
I love it. I love Jubel as a brand, and they have my favourite lager of all time. And when we review it, that'll be my first 10.
We're wearing suits for that episode.
We're wearing suits for the Jubel review, this particular Jubel. And that'll be a 10, without a doubt. There's no point in us even reviewing it, because we know it'll be a 10.
And we know we share the same opinions on it.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But no, this is fantastic. In fact, I'll boost it up to an 8 because, like you say, it is quite unique, and I don't know any other brand that does it, so that'll kind of give it a few extra points.
Yeah.
Go 8. So,
I mean, I don't want to lead you any higher, but within my 9.25 rank, I'm also adding into that the brand, the UK, kind of bringing it back to UK roots, small company, like they're driven by eco sort of ways of going about things, and they're kind of subscribing to these systems. At the same time, session-y 4% beer, it's not like it's a 6% you use it to get drunk sort of thing. It's an enjoyable beer, a nice experience. So that's why I went with such a high rating, the fact that there's quite a lot of things that go towards what makes a Jubel, and it's all round good things.
No, I agree. That's factored into my score as well, though. I think, I just think the beer, this flavour of Jubel personally isn't my favourite.
Yeah.
But the brand for me, if we're rating brands, obviously Jubel 10 for me. It's a fantastic brand. Yeah. I love it. Is there anything else we want to chat about whilst we're sat here with a lovely...
I'd love to talk to you in length about how you're wrong about your ranking.
This is the first beer disagreement.
Yeah, because I feel like the orange, it's a good flavour. It's one of their best.
I suppose if you're a big orange enjoyer, then yes.
Count me as one of those.
Big orange enjoyer. Yeah, no. It's just, it doesn't, it's 8 for me, final ranking. 8 for me.
Is it because their other ones are just so good?
There are other ones that are so good. I can't dish out 9s and 10s like that. If I was to dish out 9s and 10s like that, every beer would be 9 and 10 because I just love a nice cold beer.
True, there is that.
But I just think Jubel has 10. Jubel has a 10 lineup. It has a 10, a 975, and a 95, but we're not there yet.
I would count this as one of those.
Wow.
Which is why
I respect the ranking though. So if we're averaging out 8 and 9 and 2.5, so 8.5.
8.5, yeah.
Round it out, average.
Yeah, we'll round it slightly lower in your favour, whatever.
We know this is 10 cover. I think that covers it all, doesn't it, this episode? Again, thank you guys very much for watching, listening, wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, add us to your favourites on your podcasting platform of choice.
Yep.
And check out other socials. We've got a load of other socials out there. Instagram, X. We don't use X at all. Really.
But still look out for it if you're watching this in the future. Maybe we'll be on it.
Facebook.
We'll probably be on quite a few things, and check out other channels. And we've got email if you want to contact us, comments, we read our comments.
Every comment, reply to every comment, like every comment, and we'll stick to that.
Yeah.
We will stick to that.
So, and watch out for anything we're doing in the future, because best believe there's going to be things in store.
See you guys soon.
See ya.